This is Hannibal here from the Hannibal TV on YouTube with a daily wrestling news update. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving yesterday. Some strange news. Ric Flair has put out a statement regarding Hulk Hogan's death. Now, Ric Flair, keep in mind, this is the same guy that said he was in the locker room for Bruiser Brody's murder when he wasn't there, and definitely is on the record telling lies of the past. But here's the thing: he could get sued for saying something like this, and he was friends with Hogan. So I don't know if maybe he just doesn't care because he's 76 now about getting sued. But here's what he says: "Quote, I talked to him the day before he died. I shouldn't say this, but what killed him was street drugs. When the doctor wouldn't prescribe anymore, he was in so much pain. He had that neck surgery and it got infected back in the hospital. And then the doctor would not prescribe any more pain medicine. They just couldn't do it all in good conscience. So they went and got illegal street drugs. His body says, you know what? Bingo, I can't do it anymore." He later added, "It's all going to come out in the media in the next 30 days. You'll read about it anyways. I just don't feel free to talk about it." End quote. So he doesn't feel free to talk about it, but he says it. So basically what he's saying is the doctors was not prescribing him enough medication to keep him out of pain. So somebody went out and got him drugs that ended up killing him, according to Ric Flair talking about Hulk Hogan. Now, a lot of you people have been messaging me about Marty Jannetty, a very strange guy who appeared on Literal Bottom Feeders podcast the other day. I won't even mention it. But for people that just want to keep dissing me like I'm nobody, I have almost 300 million views on YouTube. Almost 300 million. On Facebook, just in the last month, 12,707,000 views. But people like to, it's just haters that like to tell me I suck because I've only been in WWE and TNA in matches here and there. When I did have a contract, it got rescinded. The reason it got rescinded was due to having Hep C at the time, which I caught from Abdullah the Butcher, that was proven in court in both Canada and the US. That is the reason my contract didn't go through. I was offered a contract. WWE settled with me over that contract, and I won 2 cases over it. Do people with Hep C ever get second chances? Did Bob Orton Jr. ever get a second chance after he bled in WWE with Hep C? Has anyone ever got booked as a wrestler again other than in the small leagues after they've come clean about having it? Even though I was cured, but you're still painted with that brush. So the people that want to tell me I suck, go ahead. My numbers speak for themselves. And I have been a full-time wrestler in Puerto Rico. I've held titles there when business was good. I was a successful promoter for 15 years, and I am a successful interviewer. But these bottom feeders had, who, by the way, they do nothing but interview people. They've done nothing in wrestling. So diss me all you want. I don't care. I'm just going to address this for the fans. Marty, and it's funny because Marty appeared on their podcast. Did they pay him $150? Because his whole reason he's mad at me is because he came to me wanting to do a regular podcast, and he claimed on this podcast that he wanted $10,000, which makes no sense at all. So for the record, he claimed on this podcast he actually wanted $10,000. Where he got that number from, I don't know. But he said $1,000 an episode, and I said, you know what? I'll try it at 150 an episode. Keeping in mind that the last podcast he did with me only made $18, but I felt bad for him. So, anyways, he made false accusations about me. I have no criminal record, and now he's made other personal accusations against me. Let me be straight with you. I've only met him in person one time at the Markout in the Meadowlands autograph convention, which was around one of the New Jersey WrestleManias. That's the same convention where I had that altercation with Billy Jack Haynes. I met him there in person, and I did a short interview, and then I met him in person for the first shoot interview I did with him, where he appeared to be on something I was not on anything. So for him to act like he knows me, because the only interactions I've had with him is through interviews, how exactly does he know me? That's what I want to know. He doesn't know me. So I'll leave it at that. Somebody says someone with Hogan's money is getting whatever they want from Florida doctors. Was Marty drunk when he said that? I don't know if he's ever sober. Honestly, don't know if he's ever sober. Thank you guys, and a lot of people are saying that I shouldn't even address this, and you're right. But when people are all asking me to do it just to stop the messages, I'll do it. I do feel bad for him, but for the people saying, "Oh, you guys are going to make up," no. When someone makes false personal accusations against you, you don't make up with them. They become garbage to you. I've given him enough paydays. I would have continued giving them, but he would rather turn down my money and then go appear on some podcast and diss me. Which I don't know if he was paid or not for that podcast, but I was kind enough to offer him money, which was just being kind. What does everybody think about Nick Hogan supposedly being in training for wrestling now? Has wrestling got so desperate for new stars that we now have to go to Hulk Hogan's son, who I think is in his late 30s at this point, has never wrestled before, is best known for paralyzing someone in a car accident and then still getting another DUI once he got out of jail from that? Is wrestling so desperate that we now need Nick Hogan as a wrestling star? Who knows? Someone says they highly doubt those guys are paying Marty. That's the thing. It makes no sense. It's like you're going to scream at me and publicly insult me for offering you money, and then you're going to go do someone's podcast for free just to insult me. And you're saying you're such good friends with me. Why are you? I basically said we can start at 150 if you want to do a regular one, and if it does well, I'll up your pay. But now you get nothing. Someone says the Iron Sheik says, back the Hulk Hogan. Yeah, the Iron Sheik the Iron Sheik lived to be almost 80, and he wasn't together either. But I think the last 5 or 7 years or so, he was so disabled he had no choice but to be together because they wouldn't wheel him anywhere to get anything bad. Anyways, I wish everyone a great day. Let me know what you think about the Ric Flair accusations of Hulk Hogan dying from street drugs in the